Everybody, happy Friday. Friday is here, it's hot, it's nice, and I am headed back into court in downtown Phoenix at the moment. I'll give it a second while people log on. Hope you had a good night, everybody. Good night's sleep. It seems like it's much warmer today. I think it's about 95 degrees, 40 in the morning right now. And we are headed into day 2 of jury selection in Lori Vallow Daybell's case. Here's what's going to happen today. Well, I'll back up and tell you what happened yesterday. Out of 295 e-questionnaires that came back, the judge and the prosecution and the defense were able to get 66 who advanced from that pool. Now, there are several people who did not fill out the questionnaires who were told to show up today in person. And the judge suggested that there was big enough of a pool yesterday of the 66 that they could tell those people to stay home. And if the prosecution and defense agreed to that, the judge would have done it. But Lori did not agree. So this morning, all of those walk-in jurors will show up. They'll be questioned, I guess. I don't know if it'll happen actually in the courtroom or if they'll just fill it out by paper. And then they could whittle down and have even more in the pool. Then this afternoon, those 66 or however many they end up with will report back to the courthouse, and that's when the jury will actually be picked. They'll do voir dire, which is when the prosecution can ask questions. You know, can you be fair? Do you have any bias against police, whatever? Have you seen media coverage? And then Lori Vallow Daybell can also ask them questions. The judge can too. So once 16 are left, 12 jurors, 4 alternates, that's the jury. And the judge could swear them in today and read them their instructions today, or he could wait until Monday. I guess we'll see how the day goes. And then we'll break for the weekend, obviously. And then come Monday, the trial will begin with opening statements and witnesses and evidence. And I'm learning really fast that I need to wear sunglasses because it is bright. And my eyes are watering, that's why. So today we're in the South Court Tower, which is where Lori's trial was held before. And there could be some other motions that are brought up. There are still a few outstanding, I believe, at least one. And the judge could hear those. Jury selection is not on camera. The judge is not allowing cameras into jury selection, but if other motions are discussed, like yesterday there were a couple of other things Lori wanted to discuss, the judge does allow a camera in for that. So if there are other motions today, we should have a camera there. Thanks to Fox 10, they're doing the heavy lifting for the media, and we appreciate them. And then next week, Court TV will be the pool camera for the trial. So that is what is happening. Any questions? Let me know. Please wear a hat. Yeah, I should wear a hat. Luckily, my walk from the car to the court is like 10 minutes, tops. And I'm not outside much of the rest of the day, but I should wear a hat because, boy, in Idaho. I lived in Australia for a few years, and anytime we'd go out, we would wear these brimmed hats that would cover the head, and they had a brim to cover your ears. And I just had I don't really tan, I burn. Constant sunburn for 2 years, but that's what it is. Please share my Apple TV login. I don't even know what my Apple TV login is, Otto. Is that what your name is, Otto? We're in Australia. I lived in Queensland. I lived up in Cairns, Innisfail, which they say is green like you've never seen because it rained every day. And when I say rained, it poured. And I lived where else did I live? Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Ipswich, which has the biggest hills I've ever seen. Lived all over the place. It was great. Love Australia. We're hoping to go back actually maybe next year or the year after, when all the kids are old enough to handle such a long flight. Looks like we have media cameras set out here, but I don't think it's for this case. There's some other high profile cases happening right now. Apparently, I just learned about this yesterday, a woman accused, I'm gonna pause here for a minute. We have about 15 minutes before it starts. A woman accused one of the Bachelor contestants of fathering a child with her. And the paternity test came back and he's not the dad. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe you all know the story on that. That's what's happening here. So there's some news cameras down here. Yes, Erica is feeling better. She had a minor procedure yesterday, but is doing well. And I wish I was there. I told her she needed to wait for me, but they wanted to do it sooner rather than later. So she's doing well, and I believe she's currently helping out. It's Emmy's last day of school today, and they're doing a 6th grade party with like a carnival festival type thing. So Erica is running the photo booth. Is Lori trying to get one witness dismissed from Gilbert? Good question, Stuart. Yes. Oh, Lori's attorney's about to walk in here. Let me flip the camera so you can see him. This is her advisory attorney. He's about to walk through there, I believe. Oh, maybe not. That's not him. He's about to walk in. There he is. That's Lori's attorney, Mr. Abernathy. So he's back for jury selection. There is not a detective, a forensic scientist, a forensic person who works for the police department, and she does not want this witness to testify. And she filed a motion about that, listing the reasons why. And the state, I don't know if the state has filed a response. If they have, I haven't read it yet. So that should be discussed today, I would imagine, or next week. Okay, I didn't know the Bachelor story. There was no baby. She's a con on men, but got caught out. Okay, thank you. I wasn't following it, but I can totally see a Netflix show in the works for that, if that's the case. Something like that. Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for watching from Scotland. Josh is asking if she's trying to keep the media out. Lori has all along, well, in Idaho, her attorneys filed a motion and the judge granted it with the prosecution's support that there would not be cameras in her trial. Then Judge Boyce did allow that. In the second trial with Chad, he did allow cameras, court cameras. And Lori has filed motions that she said she doesn't like the media cameras, and she said that yesterday. But jury selection is kind of a different thing. A lot of times cameras aren't allowed in simply because you don't want to risk a juror being shown. There's a lot of potentially private information that's shared with the public that if you broadcasted, you could get out, and you don't really need to have that. So we will see. Do you expect many family members of Justin to be there? I wonder if you mean Brandon Boudreau. He joined yesterday on Zoom, and so did his wife. And they maybe they'll be here in person today, but I expect them to come to the trial pretty much every day. He's the victim, and I could see him taking the stand. Colby's going to be here some. Yes, he should be. Kay Woodcock is coming. I'm not sure about Larry, but I spoke with Kay yesterday, and I believe that she will be here next week when the trial starts. Trial doesn't officially kick off until Monday. You lived in China with 3 kids. My kids are old enough. No, I agree with that. What I meant is I want them old enough to enjoy it and not complain when we want to go on a hike or do something strenuous and make the trip miserable. You know how it is, when you take little kids somewhere you just really can't enjoy it. I want them to enjoy it. But yeah, we'll see. So if you live in Australia, where should we go? That's the question for you. I love East Idaho News. Follow every minute. Thank you very much. Virginia, good to see you here. Good to see you all watching. How much is Lori involved in jury selection? Good question. She's pretty involved. What they do is they have a list of juror numbers. Yesterday they had like 295. The judge will start at the top and he'll say juror number 1. Looks like they have knowledge of the case, I believe they should be dismissed, and the prosecutor will say, I agree, and then Lori will say, I agree, or I disagree, and then he'll be like, okay, dismissed with cause. And they go down the list pretty quick. So Lori will comment on each juror, not much, just like, yes, I agree, or no, I don't. She did object. She did want one person to stay in the pool yesterday, but the judge said no. He overruled her request. I think that person had knowledge of the case or something. I don't remember. Lori wanted to bring him in for individual voir dire. So we'll see. And if you missed the hearing yesterday, after jury selection, where she kind of got into it with Judge Boreski and his rulings, then you should go watch it. You should go watch it. In fact, I'm sitting outside the jury room. There's a I'm not going to turn my camera because I don't want to show potential jurors. There's a massive room here, just right there, quickly, inside these glass windows, where all the potential jurors come for all the cases, not just this case, for all the cases in Maricopa County. It's a huge room. They come, they check in, they'll get called up, they'll get questioned. They all have stickers on so you know who the jurors are, and that's what's happening here. I'm not going home this weekend. I'm going to hang out here in Arizona. Well, I'm 90% sure I'm not going home. If this gets out early, there is a flight that leaves tonight at like 6. It gets to Idaho Falls, and then I could fly back Sunday. I did talk with Erica about it, and I was seeing how she was feeling, and I could go home, but I think she's like, no, just stay there. Just, do your stuff. I'm going to go home next weekend because it's Emmy's birthday. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yes, this is in Phoenix. This is in Maricopa County. Some of you are asking if you can come to the trial next week. You can. It's in the South Tower. Proceeding starts every day around 10:30. And you probably want to be here early because there's limited seats in the courthouse. So we'll see how the crowds are next week, and how many media members are here. And I don't know if there'll be as many here as in previous trials, but we'll see. All right, I better head inside because this thing starts in about 7 minutes. And I hope to see you. And we'll be here. Maybe I'll do a little lunch update if there's something to report. But if not, for sure tonight on Courtroom Insider. Post your questions, and hope you have a great Friday. It's beautiful here in the shade. I could sit here all day long in the shade. But man, the second you go out in the sun, it's pretty piercing. Go to Sedona. I've heard wonderful things about Sedona. Maybe I should. Yeah, give me suggestions. What should I do this weekend? All right, see you later. Headed into court. Bye.